This is CNEagles.com. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, alongside Carson-Newman head softball coach Vickee Kazee-Hollifield. Vick, solid doubleheader sweep for your Eagles today against Brevard. Two games that were down to the nitty-gritty, and then you blow open the barn doors in the seventh inning in both games. Have you ever been involved with Bear games back-to-back quite like these two today?
I'm sure somewhere down the road that we have been, but nail biters, you can say. It would be nice to start hitting the ball a little bit earlier than we did. But again, give Brevard, I tip my hat to them. I mean, they played hard today. Their first pitcher is extremely tough. She can, throw it. Exceptionally hard, and then she can throw her off speed as well, and did a really good job on us in that first game.
Roback second in the conference in strikeouts, on pace with Carly Tysinger of Catawba, but yet you managed to pound out 10 hits against her. How did you adjust, especially late in the game?
Well, with a pitcher like that, you have got to be more aggressive than the pitch coming in. You can't sit back and get behind in the count, so we kept saying early on in the game on that. But the frustrating part is watching a pretty strike on the third strike. The strike zone widens a little bit. I've said that 50 million times, but two things we were doing, kind of backing out of the box, which, number one, you cannot do that, and you just got to be ready, to protect the plate at that point.
So many good moments offensively today, though, especially late. And, I mean, just to lift the veil a little bit when we were deciding, okay, which players are you going to interview post-game, go on down the list, and you've got, 8 players who hit better than 400 for the series. What's that like to have everybody really working throughout the order?
Adam, until what was that, the fourth inning or fifth inning of the second game, that is what I believe this team is capable of doing. I know you can't do that every inning, every game, but they have the propensity to turn that on at any time. Again, as a coach, you love to see that. Your pitchers can settle in, pitch a little bit more comfortably, not as tight, but that's what we've got to do, is have that run production. And again, I don't know how many people we left on base today, but hopefully we did a little bit better job of that. But you're smiling, so I don't know that we did any better on that. But we're getting on base. Timely hits are still of importance.
You left 15 between the two games, but you also pound out 23 hits between the two games. Right. So you had plenty of base runners. You're going to end up stranding some at some point.
Right. I don't think as a coach you're going to complain with the number of hits that you get there. The only thing that you might come back and say, it'd sure be nice not to have to wait till it's so late in a ball game, because, we were down 3. I think we had about 9 outs left. I was beginning to get a little worried. I really was. At that point in the fifth inning, we weren't trying to manufacture runs at that point. We're just trying to put runs on the board, out hit them.
And it's Caitlin Lance who comes through in a big way in both games, bases clearing doubles that gives your team the lead in game 1, and then gives your team the lead in game 2. What about her bat?
I felt like a couple of times, I think it was Heff in front of her, I know it was, that they were walking Heff in order to get to Lance. Any coach has a smile on their face when that next player steps up and gets that key hit. Lance is hitting the ball extremely well right now, so that lineup is working for us because she's knocking in those runs, and I'm glad to see that for her.
Starting pitching was bizarrely an issue in both games, but your relief pitching, both a different player in both games, comes in and shuts the door. Kaylin Davis picks up a save in game 1, gets the start in game 2, has a bit of an issue. Then Sarah Howard is able to hammer things down in game 2. First time we've seen both starters run into a bit of a spot of bother.
Well, that's true, but when we were playing Coker the other day, I felt like we ran out of gas. I felt like I waited a little bit too late, took full responsibility for that. Those two young ladies and Lions can step in at any time. I think we're going to have to give different looks from here on out. And when I feel like a pitcher is, a little tired, or they've seen that pitcher too many times, we're going to make the change. But again, staying ahead in the count, keeping the ball down. You know, a couple of times they'd have a runner at third. We'd get the ball up here, boom, base hit. And you can't do that, you know. I don't know how many times we're going to be able to come back and outscore teams that were giving up, you know, easy runs in my mind like that.
Vickee, pleasure as always. Congrats on the sweep.
Thanks, Adam.
Carson-Newman head softball coach Vickee Kazee-Hollifield. I'm the voice of the Eagles, Adam Cavalier, and this is SeeingEagles.com.